So my Apple Watch SE finally showed up. Anybody else find it weird that the SE came out after the Series 6 did? Guess it's time to eat.
Ooh, new box. Ooh. I feel like this would totally fit me. Oh, kind of big.
Why, Val? Why? So here's the plan for this video. Next 24 hours, you get to watch what I do. Yellow band, iPhone 11, Series 6. Blue band, blue iPhone 11 Pro, Apple Watch SE. I'm gonna swap where they are on my arms. Gonna give the SE the prime spot on my arm and move this one over to my right. And then we're gonna go from there. So while this is happening, I'm gonna go set up for a workout. Pretty close between the SE and the 6. Biggest thing I noticed is that the screen's gone, which is kind of annoying. So then you got to turn it on. So when you're up and about, lazing around between your exercises, you look down, you're like, sometimes it comes on, sometimes it doesn't. But it looks like they're in the ballpark of one another. So that's not bad, right? Right, Val? Right?
Right.
It's my second workout of the day. It's titled Light and Breezy for a reason, because the gym owner of the box that I go to programmed CrossFit Total, which is basically you have an hour to find a 1 rep max for your deadlift, for your squat, and for a strict shoulder press. And so that just blows your central nervous system just completely out of the water. So like I feel wrecked, and like none of this was really heavy, but I feel wrecked. Go from something really awesome, which is this, and by awesome I don't mean that Series 6 is awesome, I just mean being able to see the screen all the time because of the always on screen, to having it go off all the time is just, I'll be honest with you, just annoying. But one of the things I'm sitting here, I'm physically I feel fried from doing that CrossFit Total workout. Like I haven't squatted over 300 in probably 3 years. I remember somebody telling me I shouldn't do anything to my IT bands because you can't roll them out, but apparently there's muscle underneath the IT bands that I haven't been, loosening for the last 3 years, and the physiotherapist I now see says, no, you should try to get to that stuff, and lo and behold, I can squat again, which is kind of weird. So it's always good to have that second opinion about certain things. But I squatted 305, strict press 160, and deadlift to 385, and those aren't actually anywhere, those are probably 85% of my maxes. And so, coming off of a bit of isolation and not lifting anything heavy, that was pretty taxing, considering that you try to do all of that in about 45 minutes. But going back to this, based on what I see and use, is that next year I think they're going to get rid of the Series 3. And so there's going to be the SE and then the Series 7. And I think they're going to keep this SE around 3-4 years, kind of like they do with all the SE models. So as of right now, this isn't a bad deal. It's not a bad, technology-wise, it's a pretty good deal. But that diminishes significantly as the years go on, and that's kind of really the only reason to buy that. But that's part of my buyer's guide for the SE. But other than that, the only thing I've noticed is the hand washing is way quicker on the SE than it is the 5, even though technically they are the same processors and stuff. And so whatever Apple has done to tune the Apple Watches for hand washing, it is just a fraction of a second slower than the Series 6. And I'm guessing that just goes back to the S6 chip in this and then the S5 chip in that. So I really don't have much else more to say. I'm gonna sleep with it, do another workout, and then hopefully I get this video done. I do have to go to the doctor's tomorrow, so, not doctors, I have to get my blood tested and to get an actual ECG. Here are my results from this morning's activities. We got gym, which was 344 calories, and on this, it's 360 on the Series 6. So that's a mild difference, though I didn't calibrate this, and this one was calibrated. 16 calories, that's not terrible, but still a difference. Not as big as the one from the Series 5. With sleep, 6 hours and 50 minutes on my Series 6 is 6 hours and 53 minutes. So that's not terrible. Monty's over here, been a good boy. You may notice that he's got an Apple Watch on him. And what I'm trying to do with this Series 5 is trying to burn its battery as quickly as possible. So the only way I know how is to have the heart rate sensor going the entire time. So Monty's doing his part in doing this video, right, puppy? You're a good boy, come here. Good boy. So it's been 12 hours and about 28 minutes, 29 minutes. And I've come to realize that the Apple Watch SE, which is this guy, is really the Apple Watch Series 3.5 because it has the same functionality as the Apple Watch Series 3. It has the form factor of the Series 4 and it's got the chips of the Series 5. So if you've never had an Apple Watch, this Apple Watch SE is a good device to get, especially right now because the chip is still fairly new. It doesn't compare to the Series 6 whatsoever. And mostly the biggest difference I noticed between these two devices is the always on screen. I didn't realize how much I've gotten used to just being able to actually see the screen of my Apple Watch on all the time. From a workout perspective, it's like a 5% difference between the workouts. That's pretty minimal. Sleeping was about the same. This SE has a older optical heart sensor. Now, I don't know if the newer optical heart sensors are any better. I do surmise that because the Series 4, 5, and 6 use, or has the ability to give you an ECG, that's the primary reason for the upgrade in the optical heart sensor, because the heart rates between the two devices were almost identical throughout the workouts, as I noticed. The always on screen was the biggest annoyance about the SE during the workouts, because I want to check the heart rate. You got to tap, right? And then you tap, and then like I think halfway through the workout that I did this morning, it's like, you closed your exercise ring. And it's like, no, I don't want to see the exercise ring. I want to see my heart rate. But that's not a problem of the SE. That's just a problem of Apple software. So that's kind of what I've come to realize about the Apple Watch SE, or the Apple Watch 3.5. So gonna go finish off my buyer's guide for these watches, and I'm still stuck wearing both of them because I have to test the difference between the finishes on a stainless steel Apple Watch and just a normal aluminum one. So you gotta look at this for the next few months. Anyways, first time watching my videos, I do encourage you to click subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell, because every single time my video comes up, that means you get to see this little puppy. Good boy. Let's go for a walk.